Okay, guys, now for a little bit of fun. We are at the point in time where we want to start to craft our Beachbody story. Guys, the reality is that facts tell, stories sell. You want to be able to craft your story so that people can relate to you, that people can see themselves in your experiences. They want to see what's working for you, what wasn't working for you, where you were. You can give people all the facts in the world about Shakeology, but when you start to share your story of using it and why you used it and what changed and why it changed, that's what people are going to resonate with. That's what people are going to pay attention to. Your story is going to be the beginning to you being able to invite people and invite them effectively. Think about it. You don't want to just be given a bunch of facts and figures, even if you're the research type of person. You want to be connected. You want those little heartstrings to be tugged on a little bit, right? Or maybe it's not a sad story, but you want to feel that motivation. Your story matters. Your story matters to you and your family, but your story is meant for others to hear. Your story is going to inspire somebody else to take control of their fitness and nutrition. Your story is going to have somebody completely transform their life and in turn transform their family and friends, and your story matters. Storytelling is an art. And it takes time to really develop and really get good at it, but you can start right now. All great stories follow a simple formula. And I don't want you to start at the very beginning of your life. Where I want you to start your story is that moment in time where you were just miserable. Talk about that lowest of low, or that moment in time where you knew you needed to make a change. Talk about what was going on. Talk about what was that final straw that broke the camel's back. Talk about that decision to make a change. What did that look like? How did that take place? Talk about what you thought about when your coach approached you. If your coach approached you, or if you reached out to your coach, what was going through your mind? It might be as simple as, my coach reached out to me a bunch of times, but I wasn't ready yet. And finally that day, and you talk about maybe that day where you were absolutely miserable, or you threw a fit in the dressing room because you just couldn't take it anymore because nothing was comfortable. Whatever that story is, then take it to that next point. What happened that made you finally decide to try? Guys, your story for starting your fitness and nutrition may be a little different than your story for the coaching opportunity, and you're going to develop probably both of them. So you take this where you're at right now, and this could just be your story to start the programs and the products. After you get to that, okay, why did I make the change? Then talk about the feel good. Talk about once you started, what changed for you. Talk about the physical, but more importantly, talk about the internal changes. Talk about how suddenly you were walking with confidence again. Talk about the new energy level that you found. For some people I know, their turning point started when I was at the playground with my kids and I had to sit and rest because I couldn't keep up. And I watched all the other parents running around and I couldn't do it. And I saw the heartbreak on my daughter's face. And when my coach reached out to me, I knew that it was time. Enough was enough. And I started working out, and I started participating in this challenge group, and I started to gain energy. I started to gain confidence. I was able to play with my daughter longer. The look on her face was priceless, and I can't put into words. The investment I made financially was so minimal. The investment in time I put in was small. And what I gained from it completely changed my life. I can't believe I didn't start sooner than I did. Do you see how there's formula, but you were drawn in, you were connected. It didn't have to be long. It didn't have to go into all of the things. Your story might be very different than that, but your story is your story. Nobody knows it better than you. Your story isn't going to connect with everybody, and that's okay, but your story is going to connect with the people that it's meant to connect with. I don't have kids, so I'm going to connect differently. Sorry, my cat is going to knock this over, than people with kids, and that's okay. I do have a niece and nephew now, so I know what it's like to have to try to run around with them at the playground, right? So that's kind of how you're gonna craft your story, and then you're gonna end it with a feel good, and you're gonna talk about those feels. And then you're going to invite people after your story. You know, if you're finally at the point where enough is enough, let's talk. If you're finally at the point where you're ready to make a change in your life for the better, let's see if this is a good fit for you. So what I want you guys to do is start to craft your story. You want to be able to craft it so it's not super long, that you could tell it to somebody, you know, almost as an elevator pitch. You know, that if you were stuck in an elevator with somebody for, you know, a couple minutes, you could share it with them. Or if you're in line with somebody at the store and you happen to be talking, where you can just share it. You want your story to be part of you so that you can share it easily. You don't want it to be 10 pages long, because ultimately you're going to be sharing this in bits and pieces on social media. So guys, I want you to start to craft your story. And once you have your story, share it with your upline coach. Share it with me. Message me. I look forward to seeing them, hearing them, learning more about your story, and helping you take your story to a new level to help others.